Hey, what's going on, Cancer? How are you? Cancer, I want to thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate your time and your energy. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, this is going to be your read for the first part of March of 2019, general. Okay, so it's going to roughly cover the 1st through the 15th of March. This will be for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If the messages don't resonate to you, then don't force it to, please. Okay. Just watch your moon, rising, or Venus signs, or if you have to, watch another reader. That's fine. I understand. All right. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to pull one card here from the Black Moon Astrology deck just to get a overview of like where the energy is being focused. And that was way too many cards here. Let's go ahead and try that one more time. Spirit, please allow us to get one card here from the astrology deck to give us a focal point for our energy here for Cancer for March, for the first half of March of 2019. So we have Taurus, I have. Okay. All right. So first, a lot of you Cancers, you may be, you know, you just may have this energy where you guys are, I don't know, it's like, it's kind of the stubborn energy for the first part of March, maybe. Or this could be where a lot of you are just really taking the time to just kind of focus on the things that you do have, the things that you have accumulated, the things that you know, have gained, during, you know, this time frame or up to this time frame. Okay. So you guys are really just taking a look at that. Or that is the focal point of your energy is, you know, what you have, what you've achieved. And again, others of you, you know, this just could indicate kind of like a stubborn nature. Even though I really don't see Cancer being like really stubborn type of people. But just this, you know, this particular time frame that we're dealing with here for the first half of March, you know, you could be presented with either you having to be stubborn in your environment, or you may be experiencing your environment kind of being a little stubborn with you, maybe going against the grain of what you're trying to accomplish. And that could be what actually forces you to really just kind of look at what you have right now so that you can work with what you have. Let's pull some tarot here to see how this is actually going to shape up for you. First half of March of 2019 for Cancer. Please, Spirit, please allow us to be able to interpret your messages. For the first half of March, what is the strongest message that Cancer needs? Here. And thank you for being patient while we get these cards plucked again. I'm going to reiterate, if the messages don't resonate to you, do not force it to, okay? Please. All right, and then under the deck, we'll put there. All right, so the central energy for you, Cancer, we have the Two of Wands. This is how I feel about it, Cancer, right? It's like, you know, I feel like you're being presented with two different opportunities, a lot of you, or maybe just multiple opportunities, or maybe, you know, you kind of at the point right now where you can kind of see that there's, you know, one of two ways that you can go about doing something. And you just, you know, you're maybe not saying that you're a little unsure of that, possibly for some of you, but it's almost for a lot of you, it could be where you're at an impasse, you know, a fork in the road in a way. Maybe between, you know, something that, you know, you've kind of have always felt like you've been you know, supposed to do, and then something that, you know, is just completely coming left field, that is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. Sorry, can't talk. A once in a lifetime opportunity, possibly. So it's kind of like a choice between that, between two things that you want to do, or two things that you have drive for. Again, one being something that you've kind of have a niche in, and then another is like something that's just like completely left field and completely outside of what, you know, others might expect for you. But nevertheless, you know, what do? You know, which way do you go? Okay, so the past energies, we have the King of Pentacles. Okay, so this is very earth energy. Again, kind of like how this Taurus card here is. So there could be someone, could have been someone in your past that was kind of very, what's the word I want to use? Like, I feel like you gravitated toward them. I feel like they offered you a lot of support. They kind of offered you, or they were just kind of the person that was just very stable, a support system, like a launch pad. You know, they may have kind of showed you the ropes of certain things. Or again, this could be someone that has given you some sort of appreciation for the things that you already do have. All right. Your present energy here is the Three of Cups. So we're looking at the people that are around you now. We're looking at the people that are in your environment, okay? So I do feel like at this moment, a lot of you could be experiencing, you know, just like a lot of, you know, like possibly like party lifestyle or whatever, right? But it's like, okay, is there something different now that I should be going after? Not saying that you should like leave your friends behind or anything. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point, like, even though maybe that's just like an extreme. But I do feel at this very moment, for some of you, you're looking at what you have and you're like, okay, you know what? I have a close circle of friends, right? But then at the same time, it's like, okay, but you're looking at something else that you also feel maybe like compelled to strive for or to go forward towards. And it may not include your very close circle of friends. Uh-oh. Okay, so then we have the Nine of Wands, Nine of Swords, I'm sorry, to come out in your, as a possible future. I feel like for a lot of you, yeah, this could develop into something where you just are just really, 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 really concerned about making sure that you do the right thing. You know, in a way, it is kind of stressing you out. You're not able to sleep. You're not really able to understand, you know, why it's hard for you to make this decision. But I see it as, you know, again, you know, you just don't want to, you know, you're so pressed to make sure that you do make the right decision going forward, to the point to where, you know, it's causing you like sleepless nights, like anxiety. I don't feel like depression here, but, you know, for some of you, you know, that could be a byproduct of that. But again, this is just a potential future. But we'll see how we can really get that lined up as far as what that looks like for you, for your outcome. Okay, the underlying here is the Princess of Wands. Fire energy. There's a fire under your ass right now. There's a turning point in a way for you. It's like, okay, this turning point, like someone has lit a fire, or maybe someone, maybe you see someone that's like around your age group or a peer of yours that's just like, okay, you know what, they're doing something, they're doing, you know, they made their choice, they're moving forward and what they really want to do. And it's just like, okay, you know, I can do that too, you know? So it's like, you know, it's like you possibly are trying to, like, you know, for some of you, you're trying to emulate someone else's success or independence. But for others of you, it's where, you know, just, you know, someone else, you've seen someone else be independent and, you know, or start, you know, start their independent process where they're just kind of breaking away, you know, from their own pack. Like you're seeing that and you're like, it's inspiring for you. Okay. And, you know, and this person that, you know, you may be looking over at doing their thing, you know, this is like, you know, they could be a fire sign, a Leo, Sagittarius, Jesus Christ, I can't talk. A Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Could be that, or it doesn't have to be. It just could just speak again to your own internal fire that you have within you. So let's see what your present environment is. Okay, so your Seven of Pentacles. So yeah, you're actually weighing, I feel like you're weighing some things out. I feel like you're really like paying attention to like every possibility that is out there for you. I feel like, again, this is where you're actually taking a look at what you have up to this point. You know, you're taking a look at the things that you've been given, the things that you've actually had to work for. You're taking a look at you're just really taking a look at your life and trying to, you know, trying to determine which direction to go from this point. What is going to be the thing that is going to yield the best fruit? Hopes and fears is the Ten of Wands. So there is a fear of like making the wrong choice. There's a fear of, there's almost like this fear of, that's the example, like, you know, the funny thing that comes to me, the first thing that comes to me is like this Bandersnatch scenario where like if you make the wrong choice, you know, it just completely like ends the story for you. So like with that being said, it's like, you know, sometimes it's like it's like you're really considering making a choice, but you know, if you make the wrong choice, it's basically going to kind of end a cycle for you and force you to kind of have to get ready to, you know, kind of redo something. That's how I feel here. And that's very interesting. I'm not really getting anything else to come out from that other than that. So, you know, that may be how you're feeling. That may not be how you're feeling, but that's just what I see. Excuse me. And I don't know, maybe there are some friendships that you're going to have to kind of, you know, put to an end. Like you're going to have to kind of like have your last celebration with, because it's like, okay, you know, you're getting ready to take on a lot of responsibility somewhere. And you're worried that your friendships are going to be strained because of that. And it possibly will be. What's the outcome here? The Four of Pentacles. I don't see a lot of actual decision making happening right now. in this first part of March. I just feel like a lot of you are just going to kind of be really steadfast. Like, I think that for a lot of you, you're going to, like there are some opportunities that you do see ahead. And of course, that's you looking out to them. But I don't necessarily feel like you're making any concrete decisions on them right now, because I do feel like you're still, you know, trying to figure out like the best way to be able to kind of have it all here. But it's to the point to where it's kind of gotten you frozen up. It's kind of gotten you not really accepting the opportunities yet, because you don't necessarily want to let go of what you have, what you have already gained, or the friendships and relationships that you have already gained. So a lot of you may be choosing to either, like, again, stay the path that you've been on already, which is inclusive of everybody that you're close with, you know, and inclusive of all the same responsibilities that you've been dealing with. However, you know, with the Four of Pentacles, it's like, you know, you're not really gaining much. Now, on the flip side of that, though, others of you, it's almost as if it's the same scenario, but it's, you know, you're instead possibly maybe considering going towards this other thing that may be just a little bit obscure, that, you know, yeah, it's going to change up everything. It's going to completely like, it's going to completely like, you know, just turn everything around for you and really allow you to do the things that you're really, really, really passionate about. But that will come at the price of, again, you know, certain friendships, certain relationships ending. And I think that with the Four of Pentacles there, it's just really hard for you to really accept or let go. Like, you're just very blocked, very kind of locked, rather. Not blocked, but locked is how I see it. So let's see what this card was under the deck. So the Temperance card, yeah. So I think just more time needs to needs to pass here before you're ready to really figure out exactly how to move off of this Two of Wands. Just a little bit more time. There's just a lot of things to consider. You know, there's just so much things to consider. Let's pull some cards from the Rider-Waite deck just to clarify the entire reading. So I'm going to pull 3 cards, or allow Spirit to pull 3 cards, just to clarify what the entire reading is. Interesting. All right. Spirit, please allow us to be able to interpret the messages. Please clarify the deck for us. Okay. So there were 3 cards that actually flipped up. So we'll take those. We have the Knight of Swords. So there's definitely going to be communication, opinions being expressed, whether they're liked or unliked. They're going to be coming towards you, or you're going to be actually, putting that off to someone, right? But definitely some ideas, some opinions being expressed, and whether that's from your friends to you or from you to your friends. But the next card we do have is the Queen of Swords. So this could be really you coming through to say, you know what, I've made up my mind. I've made my decision. Now, the next card we had is the Nine of Wands. Okay, so this does tell me that, again, you are just very, very hesitant to really make the decision and to really, like, kind of express what that decision is. So it's like once you do kind of actually have that decision in your mind, Because at this point, I don't feel like a lot of you do. And if you do, then that's good. But for the ones of you who haven't, it's like once you finally do make up exactly what it is that you want to say or what it is that you want to do, you will say and do those things. But I do think that there is a moment of hesitation, because it's like you don't want to hurt anybody, or you don't want anyone to feel as though, you know, you're hurting them. I do feel like someone could be coming to you to express their opinion as far as what they feel as though you should decide based off of how you guys' relationship has been in the past. Okay. Let's pull some cards here from the Madame Endura Fortune cards, just to see how you can navigate through this energy the best. All right, hindrance. Fate has blocked this path for you. Okay, so interestingly enough, when this card comes up, I really feel as though it's to say, okay, well, you know what? There might be just, you know, a better way or a different way that you're going to have to go about doing something in particular. Now, for others of you, this may be just saying that, okay, you know what? There is something that that you're trying to do that just maybe just way far out of left field. And not to say that you can't still be interested in that, but it's just like, if it just may not be as easy as what, you've already been doing. I do feel like, you can manifest what it is that you want in this situation. So like if you do want to move forward as far as doing this thing that like may be completely obscure or just outside of your norm, yeah, you can definitely do that, but it is going to be at the price, or it may come at the cost of, like your support system. Okay. If you feel like you need one, because this Princess of Wands is definitely independent. Okay, but it is just going to be a little bit more difficult. It's just going to kind of feel like you're working against something. And I think I said that earlier there, in the beginning with with that Taurus card there. Okay. Let's pull one more here, because I definitely don't want this to end negatively. Okay, so the hands of fate, forces beyond your control intervene. Interesting. Interesting. So this could be where, again, like someone may be coming forward towards to you to really express their opinion as far as what, you should be doing. But not to say that it's like, you got to listen to them and, believe that that's what you should be doing. I'm not saying that you shouldn't follow your own goals and your own dreams. I just feel as though it is just going to be a little bit difficult, because you're kind of maybe working against the natural, like this may be something, it's like for those of you who you've already found your spiritual path, you've already found your niche, you've already found, your purpose, or whatever it is that you feel like you're here for on this earth to do, in this plane to do, right? Like you feel like you've already found that, but at the same time, there's like other things that you just want to get into that I think it's just going to be a little difficult for you. It's going to just feel a lot more burdensome, because it just kind of not necessarily goes against what you should be doing, but it's just, it's almost as though people around you are going to be like, well, why do you want to do that now that you've already kind of, found success in this? Or it's interesting. It's interesting. I think that you guys are going to just be really trying to kind of fight with your heart a little bit, almost in a way. It's like, you know, I honestly see you guys having some sort of like third party affair, not with like someone, but more so like this complete outside interest that, you know, your friends are just not aware of. And, you know, you are kind of just diving, you know, putting more of your time and energy into that a little bit. But it does kind of feel like a burden. It is kind of getting hard to do that because, you know, you're being expected to do other things in other places. So let me know how this works out for you, Cancer. It's definitely thick energy. You know, we'll see what the second half of March looks like, and hopefully it'll be a lot smoother. But for now, I just definitely feel like you're just working against the grain on something. Not that you're being counterproductive. You're just, I feel like, you know, you know, you're still doing the things that you naturally do, except for you're just devoting outside time into other things. And you know, now that those, you know, other things is like are building more interest within you, is like, you know, it's just getting really hard for you to be able to continue both. So that's why the Two of Wands is there, because eventually you're going to end up having to make a choice. So let me know how this works out in the comment box below, Cancer. You know, I do appreciate your likes, your comments, your subscribes. Definitely, if you haven't subscribed already, I do invite you to. If you want to book a personal reading, you can. Just check the description box below for all my contact information. Yeah, I'll see you guys later.